don't even know if it's working. So anyway, I'm fucking exhausted, man. So at 11 o'clock this morning, I went to Petrocan to get a 2-liter thing of milk. And the dickhead was there again, except everybody was there this time. So they called the cops again. So I walk, this is how it goes down. I walk in, I see the manager, my buddy, and the employee. And I just put my hand on the manager's shoulder and I said, "Good morning," and I walked over and I went to the fridge to get my milk. And the idiot was there and he says, "What are you doing here?" And I looked at the manager and I said, "Getting my milk for coffee." And then I'm gone. So I go and pay for my milk and he won't let me pay for the milk. So I look at the manager and I say, "Hey man, I just want to pay for my fucking milk, man." Well, not like that. I just said I want to pay for my milk and, come on, there's no other place to buy milk. I need some milk. So dick shit fucking right in front of the manager says, "Oh no, I'm calling the cops." It's like he's overruling his manager, is what he's doing. So the manager said to me, he says, "Sean, you can subpoena me and I'll tell everybody the honest truth and this and that," he says, "but this idiot is allowed to do whatever he wants to do," is what Petrocan said. So if he wants to charge you with trespassing, so be it, from Petrocan. Whether it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. So they called this morning, I don't know, 11:30, they called the fucking cops. So once again I told the kid, I said, "Well, since you're calling the cops again, I'm not running. I'm not going to look bad by running away because you called the police on me." I said, "I'm just going to wait here." So I go outside and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and it's like 11, 12:30, 1 o'clock. Where are the cops? I go back inside, I see the manager, and I say, "Man, can you just..." I looked at the kid and I said, "Why don't you call the cops again, man?" "Oh, well, I think I just might do that," he says. So he walks over, picks up the phone, he calls them again. Now, if he is really calling the cops or not, who the fuck knows? But once again, I told him, I said, "Well, now that you called them the second time, I'm going to do exactly like I did the first time and wait for them to show up so I can speak to them." 1:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30, 2:40, 3 o'clock. I'm standing outside. I walk inside the Petrocan and I said, "Can you please call the police for a third time?" And he looks at me with total disgust. I said, "Are you going to be here?" And then I looked at him and I said, "Are you going to be here tomorrow so I can go through this again with you? Is that what's going to, He didn't say a word. I go back looking outside. 2 seconds later, he pops out. He's done his shift. He's walking out the door. So automatically, as soon as he walks out the door, the other 2 staff start talking to me because that's how much he intimidates the other staff workers. Okay? So anyway, they didn't know what was going on, so I explained to them that he had called the cops on me there. He hadn't even been in the store 10 minutes, and he trespassed me for no reason, for standing in the store finishing my coffee. So I told him, I said, when he first started talking to me, I looked at him right in the face and I said, "Do you honestly think that you thought you could get away with this without any repercussions? Do you honestly think that you're not going to have to stand in front of a judge and explain why you put a restraining or a trespassing order on me? Really?" I said, "You're going to have to get your, because I'm fighting this. I have the right." I said, "You don't understand that I have the right to contest this?" He didn't. He had no clue that I had the right to contest. I said, you're going to have to take a couple of days off work. You're going to have to pay for a lawyer. And if it turns out that you lose, you're going to have to pay for my legal fees. You should have seen his fucking face then. But I was nice. The manager was there, and the manager was saying, Sean, when the police show up, I will tell them my story honestly. He says, what he's doing, I can't even stop him from doing what he's doing. The manager has no control on his employees calling the cops. That's their right to call the cops. So the manager is great, and managers now is getting upset. He says, we can't be doing this all the time. I said, no, you're right. We can't be doing this all the time. And I said, you know what I mean? The problem is you have a in behind, personally with the manager, you have a disgruntled employee, and he's making your life miserable because you don't have the right to fire him. Or, even though he's a piece of work, he still performs his duties very well and is a constructive fucking piece of the Petrocan group. So as long as Petrocan keeps shoving their stick up his yin-yang and stroking him, he's going to do exactly what he thinks is right until I go to court, when I go to trial for that ticket. But he thought, I wasn't going to be, oh, I'm not selling you. Don't sell him the milk, he says to the girl. Don't sell him the milk. I look at the manager, I go, I want to buy my milk. Can I buy my milk, please? The manager says, let him buy his milk. You want to know how much the piece of shit is worried now? While I was standing there at around, 2 o'clock, I was outside, it was getting really cold. I bumped into one of my friend's acquaintances. So I was talking with her for a while outside, another disabled girl. And I went in to get a coffee because I was freezing my ass off waiting. So I walked over to the coffee machine, didn't say nothing, just walked over to the coffee machine, it's all on videotape, made my coffee, and then I went to pay it and he wouldn't let me pay. He looks at me, the piece of garbage, and he says, it's on the house. I said, no, it's not. Not from you, it's not. I said, I'm not taking a free coffee from you at all. I'm sorry, we're beyond that now. You what? You want to give me a free coffee after criminally charging me? I look at the manager. So I look at the other girl. Dick shit intimidates the girl, so she won't let me pay for my coffee. So the manager is outside, and when he comes in, I look at him. I said, can I just pay for my coffee? I said, he won't let me pay. He looks at the manager. He says, well, I offered him a free coffee. The manager looked at him and laughed. Like, are you fucking stupid? Anyway, he walked out of I didn't even know what time his shift ended. I've been at Petrocan all day waiting for the police. All day, since 11 o'clock this morning. I just got home now. From 11 to 3:30 standing at Petrocan waiting for the police. Unbelievable. I don't know what to tell you people, man. And everybody's like, Sean, what's going on? They charged you? And they're like, nobody can believe this is going on. Nobody. Even the old manager, Jeff, he can't understand why. And Jeff doesn't even manage, I found out today that the old Jeff Petrocan manager, the guy that gave me the free thing of milk that day I was really hurting, he now works for Frito-Lay. Delivering junk food to Petrocan pays more than working at Petrocan. I'm so exhausted from standing outside. I've been standing for 4 hours standing outside, waiting, waiting, standing. And it was like the plague, man. The cops weren't even coming around Petrocan. I was standing outside looking down Somerset and Bronson. No cops, man. For 3 hours, no fucking cops, man. Not one fucking cop car. They were literally avoiding the area so that they don't have to take the call. No shit. You could see that. There wasn't a cop car since the time he picked up the phone and called the first time, and they probably told him on the phone, well, what's he doing? Nothing, he's getting milk. Well, we're not going to show up. And then he would hang up the phone and say, they're on their way. And then I'd look at him and say, well, I guess I got to stay now because you called the cops on me. I can't run because that's childish. So I stayed there all day waiting for the cops. Then like I told you, halfway through the day, he said, I told him, I said, you want to call them back, man? Like, really, call the cops back. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting sick of waiting here. So he did. Supposedly, he picked up the phone and made it look like he called. And he thought, by saying, oh, they're on their way, that I'd run away down the street. And once again, I replied, well, I'm going to have to wait for the police officers because I don't run from the cops. They don't scare me. They're not a fucking consequence. And then he would crack to me during the day, while I was there, every once in a while he would speak to me. And I would tell him, I said, well, where did you think you could get off doing this without being questioned? I said, do you not think the judge, when I go to trial with this, that the judge is not going to ask you what I was doing that was so annoying within the 10 minutes that you walked in, that you had to trespass me? This question is going to be asked of you, right? You should have seen his face. It was like he was almost going to cry. I said, I don't know where you thought you would do this to me, inflict a criminal charge on me, and not have any answering to do for it, or reasoning why. I was super polite with this kid all day today again, whenever he said something to me, or trying to offer me free coffee. Not from you, I said. No, sir. Said, I want to pay. Oh, I refuse your card. Hey, Petrocan, take a look at your cameras, man. Do your fucking job.